Hello friends and welcome to the Crypto Stacker channel. My name's Dean. If you're watching my videos for the first time, please know I only make them for entertainment, education, and for community building in the crypto space. Talking about Terareum today, just going to do a little update. As you can see, I'm in a different space. I'm actually in my shop, and this is a place that I can't get kicked out of. I've been kicked out of the craft room, I've been kicked off the ping pong table, and now I'm in my own space, which will soon be modified to another space because we successfully helped one of our kids move up to school, and that created a little extra room in the house. So I'm going to hopefully have a permanent inside the house location. Should be pretty exciting for me. Hey, lots of stuff going on. Just going to do a quick update today on Terareum and show you guys some other things that are happening in the community that I think are really cool. So let's jump right into this. Terareum currently trading at 801858. To me, this is a good thing. Been relatively stable here. You know, you look at the last 7 days, kind of trading between 802 on the low end, 807. So we're kind of sitting in the high middle of that right now. And it's not a bad place to be. I said in the previous video, I would love to see this 802 kind of become our baseline, and eventually it will. The way Terareum is building and the way the stars are starting to align for Terareum, I think it's going to work out great. But for right now, 8018. The current holder count for Terareum is 10,566. You can see slipping 7 holders from 3 days ago. And again, I think what happens, we get a boost in new holders as people anticipate the new news. The price tends to rise on good news, and then people will take some profits. And in this case, if you take 100% of your position and close it out, we'll see a little bit of attrition. But, overall, still sitting pretty strong in the middle of the 10,000 range there. The market cap for Terareum, 49,650,000. Rank 443rd, so we just bounced back to where we were before the announcement, though the market cap is a little bit higher. Price we've talked about, 8018. The volume in the last 24 hours, kind of low, 103,000. The burn is officially 73.74%. There's always rounding involved in these, but it's ticked up over that 73.74. So almost 3/4 of that next percent burned. We'll kind of keep an eye on that and see if we can gauge what the pace of that looks like to get to 74% burn. But we're averaging about 1 trillion coins per day, 2.9 trillion burn the last 3 days. All right, so let's jump out and see what's going on. So first of all, the last video I made was about the big news that was coming out. And I actually missed it. So Melton dropped the big news. It was already out there when I made the video, and I breezed over it, but it was that we are now officially ready to do business in the UAE, United Arab Emirates, and Dubai being the biggest city of the UAE. That's the financial center for the UAE, and it really is a big deal. And as I've thought about this for the last 3 days, I've got another spin on it that makes me excited about the future for Terareum, but I was thinking maybe there would be something else coming. Maybe we're going to get additional information about the exchange, and, I missed the mark. So, but Dubai, being the kind of brain that I have, I jumped out, I did some research about it. It is a big city, the largest city in the United Arab Emirates. You can see Dubai, the city, sits right here on the coastline of the UAE. And as you dig through this and look at it, the history is interesting. The total population of Dubai is about 3 million plus actually. But if you scroll down to their economy, it's pretty fascinating. This is a massive economy. They're saying that the gross domestic product of Dubai is 107 billion with a B. Largest trading partners for Dubai are China, India, and the United States, and Saudi Arabia rounding out the number 4 spot. So it's a big deal. They've got some cool things going on in Dubai. They have got the tallest building in the world right here. This building is known as the Burj Khalifa, and it's over a half a mile tall. So it's got to be something to see. Dubai is definitely on my bucket list of places to visit. I do have some friends in Saudi Arabia that have wanted me to meet up with over there. And so hopefully next time the Crypto Expo lands in Dubai, I'll have the opportunity to go check it out. So what is it about this? What are my thoughts on why is Dubai a big deal? Well, it's really collectively what's going on in this picture that's a big deal. You've got the United States, you've got India, and you've got Dubai now. So I'm going to try to put this in an analogy for my current life and business, right? So I am in the middle right now of a development project where my brother, who I work for, has purchased some land, and we are building several new businesses, including a couple of franchise deals that we signed. And when we went to put those franchises together, it was kind of painstaking. They really put us through the paces. They asked for a ton of information. It involves disclosing all of your banking. It involves making sure you can show that you have a suitable site and you have competent people and the funds available to be able to launch the business successfully. And so it was a pretty arduous task. But a couple of weeks ago, I was back in North Carolina at a conference for one of those franchise businesses. And essentially, as you meet with the executive team, they're saying, hey, as soon as you're up and running, we want to talk to you about where do you want to do another location. Okay, so it's that all that difficulty is kind of in the past. And now that we've been through the process and garnered their trust and been able to demonstrate that we have the capacity to do it, they're open to just opening up additional stores for us. So I look at this and I think, I know the next or one of the next places that Milton has talked about establishing Terareum to do business is in Singapore. Well, as you go into Singapore, it's pretty easy at this point to point at, okay, we're already up and running in India. We're already up and running in the United States. We're completely legal up and running in Dubai. They already have all of their information and evidence that they are legit and that they have all of the things in place to be able to establish. And so I'm thinking that what we'll be seeing now is wherever Terareum wants to get established, it shouldn't be that tricky to do it. And of course, just like a token getting put onto an exchange, anytime we're able to open our token up to trading in other countries, it just broadens the potential base of people who can invest in the coin, which bodes well for you and for me. So Milton, that is a massive announcement, and Milton and the executive team and all the people that are working in the home office in India, we appreciate the work that you're doing as investors. All right, I want to jump over to Dr. Praveen Bodiga's Twitter feed and just show you here. He has a Substack article, basically a newsletter that he's released. And these are always so well written. I really like the way that Dr. Bodiga puts information out. Of course, he's talking about and touting the fact that Terareum is now available in the US, India, and the UAE, specifically there, Dubai. And so he goes in and talks about the project. And one of the things that he's done in every single article that I've read, and something that I think is an awesome, not just an awesome tactic from a business perspective, but it shows what the absolute drive and goal for the team is. So in this little paragraph here, he says, we, the developers and the community of Terareum, take great pride in bringing this to the forefront to help and helping traders establish avenues of financial security with high quality cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, Terareum, Litecoin, XRP, USDT, USDC, Polygon, Solana, and hundreds more. Okay, so he takes Terareum and he inserts it with the blue chip tokens. And certainly the goal for the development team is to have Terareum be a blue chip token, to be one of the major players in the crypto space, certainly a top 100 coin, but hopefully really something up there in that top 20 at some point in the future. So if they continue to execute the plans that they have, I think that they've got the ability and the team put together, and certainly the business plan and execution to get this done. So Dr. Praveen, great article. I'll definitely put a link to this in the description of my video. You can go straight to it. But of course, you can go to Dr. Praveen's Twitter feed and access it that way as well. All right, the last thing I want to do is just highlight a content creator who is really stepping up and doing some great terrarium content. This is CryptoSmith1970. I am following here. If you're not following him, give him a follow. You'll see here he has 447 followers. What's interesting is if you look at his YouTube channel, he also has over there 493. So about 20 different on his YouTube versus his Twitter feed. So here's my ask for you. First of all, I'm going to put a link to this video in the description, and you can definitely go and give it a view. This CryptoSmith gentleman, I've talked to him behind the scenes. Seems like a great guy, and his son is actually going to be coming to school in my local town. So he and I will definitely be meeting up here in the near future for a meet and greet. But what I'm going to ask of you guys is let's try to show some support to the people who are showing some support to the terrarium community. CryptoSmith has 493 subscribers. In the YouTube world, getting to 1,000 subscribers is very, very important. Once you reach 1,000 subscribers, a lot of things start happening. First of all, you are able to monetize your channel or get paid for the ads that they run on your channel. And then second of all, it opens you up to multiple other functions inside the YouTube platform that you don't have access to until you reach that. And then the third thing it does is it kind of shows the YouTube algorithm that your channel is serious, that people are liking the content and that they're taking it in. And so it helps motivate the algorithm to give more impressions of your video to people who might be interested in the subjects that you talk about, cryptocurrency in this case. So great video by CryptoSmith. If you haven't watched his videos, definitely give it a look. If you want to be more efficient, like I always do, you can change your playback speed from normal to 1.5 or 1.75. Your brain adjusts really quickly and you're able to get through more content. So highly recommend it. All right, CryptoSmith, thank you for supporting Terrarium as a community. And let's jump over, take a quick look at reflections, and then I'll sign out for today. Again, today is August the 7th. My current bag of Terrarium, 10,111,981,000,000. So I'm about to tick over to the 112 range here. Definitely by Terrarium Tuesday that will happen. 183 million free tokens that I received in the last 3 days. That brings my total since February 21st to 36,547,000,000 at the current prices. I'm going to change this to 185. Worth about $68, those reflections. So the reflections are what you get for just holding on and being patient. Milton actually does a good job talking about that here. Says patience is the key to success. If one plants a seed expecting fruit the next day out of it, it's never possible. When you keep looking at it every day, thinking where is the fruit, it causes discomfort. I've actually done this before because I like gardening and I get excited when the plants start growing, and then I want to go check every day and see if they're starting to put on something. So what he says is with an understanding that one doesn't do this for themselves but for their children and family, so they can yield the fruits of our labor, the process becomes joyful and positive. Pain becomes pleasure. Milton, that's sage advice. I appreciate it. Again, I appreciate the executive team and all they're doing to run the project and to help us as investors to have a strong, worthwhile investment building for our futures. Friends, thank you so much for joining me. Check back with me soon. We'll watch our crypto stacks grow together.